Welcome to Stay Calm Yoga, and thank you for joining me in beautiful Hola, Ecuador. My intention for doing these little chats is to be able to bring to you health, wellness, and all things yoga. Today's video is 10 benefits of time alone. The one thing I always say is being alone does not always mean that you are lonely. And that's a big one for a lot of people. They feel they always have to be with somebody. I'm here today to tell you, you don't always have to be with somebody. It's time to take a little time to enjoy yourself. So the number one good reason to be able to be alone is it allows you to clear your mind. Every day we are busy, we are going here, we are going there, and we sometimes just need a little bit of time to clear the mind. And the number two reason that it's important to spend time alone is it improves your creativity. This is where you're able to sit down with a piece of paper, maybe just draw. If you're not a great big artist, you don't need to be. Put the pen to paper. Maybe you might be able to be creative by coloring mandalas. If you enjoy reading, writing, poetry, this allows you to be creative. So that is important, to get that creativity out of you. Even if you're not that creative in your everyday lifestyle, take a little time and find out where you might be creative, and that helps you as well. And the third reason that I believe it is good to have time alone is it allows you to explore. Get in that vehicle, put the window down, turn the radio up, and allow that vehicle to take you wherever your heart desires. Maybe you'll end up down the road on a beautiful fall day, or maybe you'll end up going to the grocery store and just walking around, or a market. Allow yourself to just explore. And the fourth reason I believe it's important to be alone as well is it resets your priorities. You need to sit down with a pen and maybe a schedule or a binder. I like to have a schedule myself, and you write down your priorities for the day, and in the evening write down your priorities for the next day, so that you're always on track and it doesn't clog your mind up of all the other stuff that may be boggling your mind. So write down those priorities for the day and for the days to come ahead. That helps you. But you need to do that while you're alone, so that you can really take in the information and what you need to do. And once your life is prioritized, it does help you, and it becomes a lot less stressful. If you're anything like me, you're a busy lady on the go. I developed a couple years ago a 365-day yoga planner. This planner allows you to schedule all your classes and put your priorities in check. As well, this picture is of me paddleboarding on a beautiful lake back in Canada. If you're interested in purchasing one of these books, it'll be in the link below. You can get them at Amazon. What I love about this book is the size of the book is a perfect size. You can just grab your book, pop it in your yoga bag, and away you go for the day. The fifth reason that I believe it's good to spend a little time alone is it will improve your relationships. It'll allow you to go out into the world and develop better relationships because you're more relaxed. You're not always on the go. And if you have better relationships, you feel better about yourself. And if you are a bit of an introvert or a big introvert, it allows you to be able to just be with other people. So you can work on your relationships a little bit better. And when you're alone, you can think about that and what kind of relationships do you really want to have? And that's what's important. Do you want to have 10 different friends, or are you like me and you just want to have less than a handful of good friends, and they're the ones you go to when times are getting tough? I have a lot of acquaintances and I consider a lot of dear friends, but I only have a few handful of friends that I can call on in a minute. And they're the ones that are important. Your relationships with your family and your relationships with your friends. And number 6, by being able to spend a little bit of alone time, it allows you to slow down. We live in a fast-paced world out there now, and the important thing for me is slowing it down. I slow down by doing yoga. I slow down by reading a book. I also take time sometimes to just sit and have a cup of coffee, a glass of wine, and that allows me to just sit and be with me and be with my thoughts, and that slows me down tremendously. And it also will then in turn rejuvenate you to be able to continue on your busy daily life. And number 7, we're almost there, but number 7, you will then become more focused. When you're able to spend a little time by yourself, you're able to focus that time. Like I just mentioned about the priorities, focusing your time and keeping your focus in check. It's very important. If we feel that we're out of focus and we're not able to focus on one task, being alone allows us to do that. So I hope you do take a little time to spend on that, being focused and really allowing yourself to have a schedule and be just strictly focused. If you're not very good at doing that, this is going to help you by spending a few moments a day alone, and you'll find that the more you do that, the better it'll be. They always say, if you do something for 21 days, it then becomes a habit. And I think, this is the one way to do it. And number 8 reason it's great to be alone is you're able to reconnect with yourself and your thoughts, and it just allows you to just be. There's a lot of sayings out there and a lot of quotes that just tell you to just be. And it takes a lot to really learn that. And it took me a long time. I'm a busybody. I'm like a little butterfly and a little bee going around from flower to flower. I'm very busy. And I love it that way. But you also have to be able to become focused, as I just said. And by being able to be with yourself, you're going to slow down. And my father always said to me, you need to learn to love yourself before anyone else can love you. Because you don't know, if you don't love yourself, how in the heck can somebody else love you too? You need to know how to find that. And that is a really big point of learning to live by yourself and to be alone. And number 9, you will gain self-confidence. If you can live by yourself and work by yourself and just be by yourself, you are going to develop confidence within yourself. And to me, my friends, that's the important thing. I remember many years ago, I had no confidence in myself. But I also learned something. When you love yourself and you're with yourself, your confidence will grow. And you need to be around people as well to build your confidence, so that when you're by yourself, you are not thinking those thoughts. The worst thing is your thoughts. You need to learn to focus on positivity and going forward. And number 10, finally, you will become more independent. By becoming more independent, you will be able to conquer the world. I remember when I was recently single many years ago, and I said, I do not want to be in a relationship for 1 whole year. And that 1 whole year became 11 years before I finally met my husband as of now. And let me tell you, I learned to be quite independent. And I think it's important because having your independence, especially as a woman, is very, very important. Whether you were married, whether you were single, whether you were widowed, having independence is very important to you. And being a woman and being able to say, I'm an independent woman, that is the best way to live your lifestyle. You can always depend on a man when needed, but a man will respect you if you are independent on your own. And I think that is one big one to take away from this video. So Is being alone all that bad? I don't think so. I think being alone is magnificent. You need to take that time for yourself to be able to connect with other people along the way. I absolutely love being with everybody. I love being around my friends. I love being around my family. Obviously, I love being around my husband. We have a lot of laughs. We spend a lot of time together. As we are both semi-retired, we spend a lot of time together. But let me tell you, you have to spend a little time by yourself, because if you don't, you will become wore out. You need to learn to relax. You need to learn to meditate, whether that's walking your dog, reading a book, painting, taking a drive with the windows down on a beautiful spring or fall day. That's when it's important. That, my friends, is also meditation. And I believe that being alone, like I just said, is not being lonely. Being alone can be very empowering, and you can bring it to your everyday life. And I think that's the most important thing. If I could give any young girl any advice, my advice to you would be is to learn to love yourself, be independent, and you've got the world by the tail. So thank you for joining me today on the 10 benefits of being alone. Just because you're alone does not mean you are lonely. So enjoy your time alone, and we'll see you real soon on Conversations with Tonia. Thank you for joining me today.